It was late July, the kind of summer night in Big Bend National Park, when the desert heat doesn't fade even after the sun dips below the jagged silhouettes of the mountains. Veteran park ranger Daniel Cross had been on duty for over a decade, known for his easy smile and unmatched knowledge of the park's most remote corners. That evening, just as his shift was winding down, the radio crackled with an unusual report. Two separate campers, miles apart, claimed to have seen strange, floating lights deep in the Chizos Mountains. They said the lights weren't like lanterns or flashlights. They drifted too smoothly and vanished all at once, like they'd been swallowed by the dark. Daniel didn't hesitate. At 8:42 p.m., he signed out his standard issue gear, service, revolver, flashlight, canteen, and a two-way radio, then climbed into his white Ford Ranger pickup. He told dispatch he'd do a quick sweep of the area near the remote basin trailhead and check back in within an hour. Probably just night hikers, he said over the radio, but his tone wasn't casual. He'd heard enough strange stories about that part of the park to know it was rarely just anything. The drive out was lonely. The dirt road wound through stretches of desert that looked more like the surface of another planet than Texas. Towering cliffs casting impossible shadows, scrub brush twitching in the wind, and a horizon that seemed to swallow light. At one point, Daniel slowed his truck when he thought he saw something move in his headlights, a figure, maybe, standing just beyond the road's edge. But when he stopped and shined his light, the space was empty except for dust swirling in the beam. At exactly 9:37 p.m., Daniel radioed in again, reporting he'd reached the trailhead and spotted a faint glow coming from the ravine beyond the first ridge. Going to check it out, he said. Dispatch asked if he needed backup, but there was no response. 10 minutes later, a final transmission came through. The sound of heavy breathing, the crunch of boots on gravel, and then silence. The radio stayed open for a few seconds, carrying nothing but the hollow hiss of static before cutting out entirely. When fellow rangers traced his route later, they found his truck parked at an odd angle on the road shoulder. The driver's door was open, keys still in the ignition, headlights pointing toward the slope leading down into the canyon. His ranger's hat was sitting on the passenger seat as if he'd taken it off in a hurry. And just a few feet away, on the ground, his flashlight lay still glowing, its beam angled directly into a black void between two boulders, where the desert night seemed unnaturally deep. The search team's first focus was the pickup truck. It was in perfect working order, engine still warm when they found it, suggesting Daniel had left it only minutes before vanishing. The driver's seat was adjusted for him, his clipboard with the evening patrol log